Thanks very much for joining us on Traders 20 on ET Now. I'm Mika Chadha.
Hi everyone, I'm Avan Dabash. Traders 20. Well, this is the show where you get 20 fresh stock trading ideas so that you can have a profitable trading day. Over the next half hour, we'll have our top technical experts come together so that you get some of the most exciting bets in the market.
Well, that's not all. We will, of course, also be showcasing commodity picks as well as strategies to help you make the best of the futures and options market. So let's get you a glimpse of the lineup that we've got for you for today. Well, as always, Ashwini Gujral is joining in from New Delhi, Mitesh Thakur, Sandeep Wagle, Prakash Kapa from Mumbai, Rajat Bose from Kolkata, and Deepak Mohani is here with us from Pune.
Can't wait to get to the trading ideas, but a minute on the markets, and it's been a pretty flat day of trade for the Sensex also. We've been trapped in a 50-point range. It's 52.54 for the Nifty, and most of the technical analysts believe that we seem to be tiring at these levels. The advanced decline ratio, though, is tilting in favor of the gaining side. Let's pull up some of the losers for you. You've got private banking names like an Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, all of them featuring on the list. BHEL has pointed out off by 2.5%, and the metals pack is seeing a little bit of sheen swept off. So you've got Jindal Steel and Power, Tata Steel, Sesa and Sterlite Industries off. A little bit of defenses, so Ranbaxy is off and Grasim Industries looking weak. To the gaining side, Bharti Airtel tops the list. The entire OMC basket is doing well today, so BPCL features on the list. Unilever, HDFC Bank and ITC are some of the other top gainers on the Nifty. Well, let's get the ball rolling then, and before that, here's a mandatory disclaimer from our end. Over the next half hour, you'll be getting a lot of trading ideas. If you choose to take positions, please make sure that you do consult your financial advisor. Let's bring on board then Ashwini Gujral as well as Mitesh Thakur to set the pace for Traders 20. Ashwini, very lackluster for the markets. Which direction do you see it going? And in light of that, what are the trading ideas that you're recommending?
Well, my view is that in spite of all reasons to go down, the market is hanging on, and that's a sign of support. Even the weaker index, which is the Bank Nifty, that's also holding on. So chances are that post a range-bound movement at current levels, the odds are we should move on the upside. Basically, every time I hear a bearish prognosis, it makes my conviction stronger, because you hardly hear a bullish voice, but the market does not fall, which means that the market is reacting well in a bearish environment. So having said that, I have 3 buy calls and 1 sell. Tata Global Beverage, that's been a strong stock. FMCG Group, so that's a buy with a stop about 131, target of 144. Bombay Dyeing is a buy with a stop about 422, target of 465. This is a high beta counter. It's reacted from 570 to almost like 420. And whenever a rally starts, you'll see short covering, etc. And chances are it will gain those 30-40 points from here easily. Tata Steel is the sell with a stop about 365, target of 340. Metals remain in a strong downtrend, and even on up days, they have problems going higher. And finally, the final buy is Colgate Palmolive, which is trying to make a fresh intermediate high. FMCG remains strong. The stock is almost at a new high. So this is a buy with a stop about 1210, target about 1300.
Okay, so 3 buying and 1 selling idea is what Ashwini is betting on this morning. And Mitesh, given how quiet we've been over the last 3 days, what are the trading ideas that you've got?
I've got a mix of buy and sell, and I think it's right that the market has been extremely quiet. So I think the market is taking its time to decide what course of action it wants to take, and I think we must also patiently wait for markets to give some signals. I would sell a Kotak Bank. It's kind of broken important support levels of 570, 571. It was the level where the stock was taking supports last week on multiple occasions on intraday basis. We saw 570 hold out nicely. I think today it's broken that. This one can be sold with a stop at 578 for a price target of 540, which is the 200-day average. Sell on Sun Pharma. Very clearly, some of the pharma stocks like Divi's and Sun Pharma have started what I can say is some kind of profit booking corrective action. I think Sun Pharma was sell in the morning as well. It's clearly feeding the pressure. I would sell this with a stop at 663 for a price target of 638. a buy on Reliance, and I think this is slightly a conditional buy. As I said, I think we must patiently wait for the market to show some kind of signal on the upside. I think Reliance could be one of the stocks which could do that. As long as once the stock manages to get past levels of 781, 781.5, which were the yesterday's high, I think that will clearly suggest that the pullback to the short-term averages for the stock is over and it's gaining upside momentum. So I would wait for the stock to trade above 781 and then buy with a stop at 769 for a price target of 805 on the upside. And I've got a buy on HTIL. Again, a stock which has been beaten down, a high beta stock which is possibly giving signals of coming out of oversold levels, and some kind of short covering can take place over here. Can be bought with a stop at 68.5 for a price target of 74.5.
Okay, so evidently a large cap bias for Mitesh Thakkar, and it's also a sell call coming in on HTIL. Let's nail it down to individual stock queries that you've sent in. Our first query comes in the banking arena on South Indian Bank. Wasim is joining in on the phone line from Mysore with his query. Wasim, hi there. Welcome to the show. Tell us what your query is on South Indian Bank.
Yeah, hi and good morning to everybody there in the studio. Hello.
Right. Hi, Wasim. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. This is Wasim, and good morning to you, all of you people. The thing is, just I would like to ask regarding South India Bank, its fundamentals, and I would like to invest for a couple of years, like 1 or 2. Hello.
I am not an expert on the fundamentals of South India Bank, and overall, right now, if you ask for most banks, the fundamentals may not be so good, but this is the right time to invest in banking stocks from a 1-year type of perspective, because when things get better, the prices will be a lot higher. This is one of the outperforming banks, which is trading fairly close to its recent highs, and it's moving in a range. It's not collapsed like many of the other banking stocks. What's important here is to remember a stop loss. If you're entering right now as you desire, you should keep a stop about 18. A 1-year target about 30 is the first target. In case we are able to cross 30, chances are it can even go up to 42. So given that it's a 1:5 risk reward type of a trade, and if it works out, the risk reward is extremely good. But if your stop gets taken, you should respect the stop as well, because for a long time the stock has been in a fairly narrow range, and chances are that whenever banking stocks turn, this could be one of the outperformers in the small cap type of banks.
Okay, so Wasim, you could clearly look at buying into a South Indian bank, but do keep in mind all those levels and the stop losses that Ashwini has mentioned. Let's move on to the next query for the day. This one comes in on a counter that was absolutely thrashed out of shape yesterday. We've got Sushila Punjabi on the line with us from Mumbai. Sushila, hi, good to have you with us. Go ahead with your query on Escomars.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Sushila. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have 100 shares of Escomar at the rate of 35. Should I hold or exit?
Well, the problem is that there is too much controversy around the stock. Plus, it seems there is a lot of pledged stock, because each time the stock falls, it tends to fall 8-10%. So I don't think it's worth remaining in this stock. I think there are much better stocks which can protect your capital and where problems are lower. So I would exit. Basically I would have exited the moment I lost, say, 10 to 15%. I mean, obviously this is not a great time to exit, but you people need to maintain stops each time you enter an investment, because losing 50% in a particular stock is these days 15 days worth of work.
Okay, hope we got your query answered there. Sushila, thanks very much for joining in on the show. The last query comes in as an email, and this time on Adani Power. Sumesh hails from Bangalore, and he said that he's bought 400 shares of Adani Power at an average price of 45 rupees a piece. Now he wants to know if he should hold or sell with a short-term time horizon of the next 3 months. Ashwini.
Well, if we leave aside the stock for the moment, the sector, the power sector is not doing so well right now. Plus, this entire group, each time there is a controversy around this sector, this group seems to be involved in it. So it has two negatives even before you start looking at the stock. as far as the stock is concerned, it's become 1/3 in value. From a 3-month type of perspective, you should not be taking contrarian calls. What you should be doing is going into stronger stocks, because chances are that a weak stock would get weaker over 3 months, and a strong stock will get stronger over 3 months. Only from a 1-year type of perspective can you do these, contrarian calls where you buy things which have fallen a lot, hoping that over 1 year, things will change. So my advice is exit, but if you still want to hang on, your final stop here is 37, and if upside starts, maybe you can get 53, but the odds of the trade working out are fairly low.
So Sumesh, you heard Ashwini, who is not too enthused about the prospects for Adani Power in the near term. So do keep in mind the recommendation that Ashwini has made. But do remember, if you take a decision based on any of the recommendations that have been made in the show, please do consult your financial advisor before doing so.
But do keep the queries coming, because Ashwini Gujral is here every day to get them answered. 3 ways that you can participate on the show. You can email us at bnsn@etnow.tv. You can SMS BNSN followed by your name and your query to 58888, or simply call us on 022-2483-7111.
Time for a quick break, but come right back because we'll get you 6 more ideas from Sandeep Wagle and Prakash Kaba.
Thanks for staying with us. Still tuned in to Traders 20.
Well, the markets are looking decidedly weak right now. We've got 1/3% off for the benchmarks, and even the mid-cap index is not looking too bright. It's about 1/10% off there. 71.29 is the level that it's trading at. Some of the big movers then, it's the Deccan Chronicle after being locked in on the upper circuit yesterday. Today, the Cantor is trading at about a level of 1290. Optus Circuits, PFC and EIH are some of the other big losers on the mid-cap side. What's, however, showing strength on the flip side is a Sterling Biotech as well as a Welspun Corp. Both those indicators are up by over 3%. A KSK Energy as well as Bombay Dyeing is showing some good momentum right now.
Okay, quiet for the broader markets, but let's get on board. Sandeep Wagle as well as Prakash Gaba, they're here to walk us through their picks. Interestingly, Sandeep, you've got a whole lot of buying ideas from the mid-cap space. Which stocks are you spotting?
Well, the Nifty is in a no trade
For the broader markets, but let's get on board. Sandeep Wagle as well as Prakash Gaba, they're here to walk us through their picks. Interestingly, Sandeep, you've got a whole lot of buying ideas from the mid-cap space. Which stocks are you spotting?
Well, the Nifty is in a no trade zone. I mean, it is in a 30-40 point down and up kind of a move. So I don't really think that one should be really short on. Though I do agree that at this point in time, I'm seeing more weakness than strength. But I suppose at lower levels buying will come in, and the Nifty, as far as it is concerned, it will be flat. I have a buy in United Phosphorus, a stop loss of 119, target of 127, a clear trendline breakout with volumes in the daily charts. The second stock is a buy in Havells, stop loss of 558, target of 582, a rounding bottom pattern breakout with volumes in the hourly chart. And the third is a buy in Jubilant Foods again, the same reason, a rounding bottom pattern in hourly charts with volumes, stop loss of 1220, target of 1278.
Okay, so 3 buying ideas coming forth from Sandeep. You could look at buying a Universe, Havells as well as a Jubilant Foodworks. Prakash, you on the other hand, what are your ideas that you're recommending this morning?
Well, in a falling market, again 3 buys. I mean, let's forget the market and look for signals where there could be some kind of an upside. I would go for IVRC. It's more of a typical sideways zone. We could see a kind of technical bounce here. And the technical bounce could take it to levels closer to 42. Have a stop below 30 and try to trade long side. Second stock is Geometric. So far it's consolidated for 2 weeks or so in the sideways zone. We could see a momentum push up here. Strangely about above the psychological 100 mark, I would have a stop levels at 104. On the upside, have a target with 111. Looks like this kind of base formation is there closer to 135 zone on short-term time frame, and I feel that can go to level.
Okay, so those are some of the trading ideas. It's an IVRCL, Geometric, as well as a Tata Global Beverages buy calls coming in from Prakash Gaba. We take a quick break right here on Traders 20. Don't go anywhere. As always, Rajat Bose and Deepak Mahoney, they're joining in on the other side to give us their top trading ideas for today.
Thanks very much for staying on with us on Traders 20.
Well, let's find out what's going on with the broader markets. As pointed out, it's fairly quiet trade coming in. So the small cap index also seeing a bit of a positive bias, so higher by just about 0.3%, but no fireworks there. Let's find out the stocks that are holding up in that arena. You've got a Gemini Communication that's topping the list, a good 9% notch up. Apart from that, Balaji Telefilm, some fundamental news doing the rounds. Apart from that, you've got Reliance Media Works. Take a look at the media stocks and the kind of interest that you've been seeing for the second day on the trot. Glodine Technoserve, that never fails to feature on the list. Greenply Industries as well as Sajana Tars, and Varun Industries also currently at 21.7. Apart from that, on the losing side, you've got the likes of Chemrock Industries, Sanghai Industries as well as West Coast Paper Mills. That's off by 4%.
Okay, let's move on and bring on board Rajat Bose and Deepak Mahoney to give us and run us through their recommendations right now. Rajat, let's start with you, and what are your 3 recommendations?
Today I have 2 intraday buy calls and 1 sell call that would be a hedge against these 2 buy calls. Buy Jain Irrigation, stock below 63.20, target 65.40, 66.10 and 67. Jain Irrigation is looking good on intraday charts. Currently consolidation is on. It could actually reach those targets, but if this is chiefly an intraday trade and if intraday targets are not met, it should be liquidated. And then HDIL, although it has fallen a bit in the last few minutes or so, but I would suggest putting a stop loss below 68.50 and keep a target of 71.70, 72.20 and 72.80. This is betting on any kind of a late session recovery, then HDIL might show good strength. And then the hedge trade is on Nifty September futures. Sell it on current levels or on any rally with a stop above 5311, and the targets are 52.53, 52.40 and 52.22. Weak market, so we need a hedge, and there is a possibility that Nifty might crack, so that's the reason behind this trade.
Okay, thanks for those trading strategies, Rajat. Let's take it to our final technical expert joining me on the show. That's Deepak Mahoney. Deepak, what's on the list today?
2 buys on the short sell as well. The first of the buys, HDFC, making an interesting move. First, the recommendation itself, the stop loss is at 719 and the target is 758. What's making the stock very interesting is that it's come very close indeed now to 735. That's a level at which it's reversed, not once but maybe 8 or 10 times since the last 18 months. And it did sort of poke above it a bit intraday, and it's been going up now since mid-June, so it's a pretty persistent uptrend. Odds are now very strong that breakout which investors are waited for is about to happen. So HDFC, though given as a short-term recommendation, could also be a pretty good longer-term investment. Second stock is Venky's India with a stop loss of 505 and a target of 537. This stock made a pretty good move since mid-May, and it's corrected for 2-3 weeks. Now today it's again started an upward move, so that correction appears to be over, making this a very good time to enter. Good volatile stock, so should get to its target pretty quickly compared to other stocks. And the one short sale, that's a pure intraday trade to be squared off by the end of the day. IndusInd Bank, stop loss of 317, target of 305. At its current market price, it's at a 11-week low, so that's really very much under pressure right now.
Okay, so those were two long and one short idea coming forth from Deepak. With that, we of course have wrapped up the 18 technical equity trading ideas, but we're not done just yet. We have to talk about commodities as well, and for that, Manisha Gupta, commodities editor, is here with us. Manisha, hi. We seem to be witnessing some bit of easing as far as commodity prices are concerned right now.
Well, absolutely, yes, Megha. After that huge run-up that you have seen in commodities, there really hasn't been any profit-taking coming in. But then tomorrow is the ECB meeting, and that is when they would be unveiling the much-awaited debt-buying program by the European Union banks. And that is something that's keeping the markets jittery, a bit of a decline coming in for most of those commodities, as is the case with euro as well. The strength in dollar is another thing which is weighing onto the prices. So gold, after almost touching that 1700 mark, is just about holding 1690 right now. Silver, of course, has been the strong one, holding still above $32 an ounce. And you have seen some profit-taking happen in case of energy and the base metal prices as well. The volumes have seen a bit of a decline, and ahead of ECB, that's pretty much the mood you will see markets getting into that meeting there. Let's also get in our guest then, and Naveen Mathur from Angel Commodities is now joining us live on the show with his strategies for the day today. Naveen, hi, welcome. How do you look at the gold prices? There has been a bit of a decline, but the ETF buying is yet at another record high today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Manisha. I think, yes, we have seen the decline from the high levels around $1,700 levels, $1,698, $1,699 levels, which we have seen in last 2 or 3 days. I think the profit booking has definitely come in, as you rightly pointed out, and that's why we are seeing the prices today quoting at around 1691 or 92 levels. The second question about where do we headed from here, I think it's still holding good because of the rupee depreciation factor in Indian markets, and therefore we are seeing all-time highs touching for the gold in Indian markets in rupee terms. We still recommend to buy on the gold on the MCX, the September contract. October contract at around 31,380 to 31,400 levels. We are expecting stop loss for this trade at around 31,280 and targets on the upside in the range of 31,540 to 31,550.
Naveen, your point on the rupee is well taken. 55.90 in the spot market and 56 has been crossed for the futures there. Do you think this calculation would work out, and silver price is also going higher today?
Yeah, Manisha, I think the rupee is a crucial factor. Apart from the rupee, which is playing the domestic prices on the upside, I think the meeting on the ECB and the Fed meeting the next week on the 12th and the 13th of September, plus the Constitutional Court ruling on the ECM fund for the bailout of the sovereign debts of the peripheral Eurozone countries, I think major meetings are going to happen, and that's why people are keeping on the sidelines. But at the same time, the base metal pack is looking slight positive because of the sentiments which are built up in last 1 month or so, the positive sentiments which are built up in last month or so. So I think the base metal pack taking cues from there, and the precious metal which are moving on the upside, plus the rupee depreciation factor, all leads to an upside for the silver prices for the intraday. We recommend the December contract on the silver can be bought in at around 61,600 or 61,500 levels. Stop loss for this trade should be put in at around 61,100 and targets on the upside in the range of 63,300 to 250 for the day.
All right, Naveen, we'll let you go at that. Thank you so much for joining us. Those are the two strategies coming in from Angel. Buy on gold and silver for the intraday market today. With that, it's back to you, Avan.
Thanks very much, Manisha, for drilling out all those commodity trading strategies. A quick word then on Jain Irrigation, some details on their fundraising plans, on the back of which the stock is holding up pretty smartly. They plan to raise $73 million in shares, $55 million in bonds, and finally $75 million via ECBs. The stock price reacting at 65. But here's a disclaimer from our end on Traders 20. If you choose to take positions in any of the stocks that have been recommended, please make sure that you do consult your financial advisor. To our 6 technical experts, great having you with us, gentlemen, on the show. Thanks very much for taking the time out and joining in.
Okay, time for that very quick break. Come right back because BNS in the stock game will be taking forth the action.